Good morning, dear students. Welcome to KLS Gupte PU College of Commerce and Science. Myself, Professor S.B. Bendigeri, Department of Economics, taking online classes for PUC first year commerce students. In the last class, we were discussed about the syllabus and question paper pattern of the subject. Today, let us have a discussion on the Indian economy on the eve of independence, which is the first lesson in the second part of economics, that is Indian economic development. The primary objective of this book is to familiarize you with the basic features of Indian economy. However, it is equally important to know something about the country's economic past and to learn about its present status and future prospects. And it is very much essential for you students to understand the basics of Indian economy in the past, present and in the future. Now, let us have a look on the basic features of Indian economy. What were the features of Indian economy in pre-independence and in post-independence? The first feature of Indian economy in pre-independence was decrease in the per capita income and national income. Per capita income is nothing but it is the average income of an individual. It is calculated by per capita income is equal to total national income of the country divided by total population. And the national income, on the other hand, defined as it is the final or market value of all goods and services which are produced in a country in a given period of time, 1 year. Especially the per capita income and national income of the country was very less. It was negligible. Per capita income was increased only 0.5% and the national income was increased only 2% during colonial rule. Colonial rule means during British rule. The purpose behind decrease in the per capita income and national income in those days was British government has not given any importance for development of Indian agriculture, industries and tertiary sector. They have focused more on only development of their activities by exploiting our local resources. Because of that, there was no increase in the per capita income and national income. Coming to the second feature of Indian economy, that is rapid growth of population. India is the second largest country in the world after China in case of population. It is the richest country in the world in case of population. India is the richest country in the world, but its inhabitants are very poor. India's population is growing like anything. Once population goes on increases, the direct effect of this population is on per capita income and national income. As I said in the beginning, per capita income is calculated by total national income divided by total population. If the population of the country goes on increases, there is no doubt per capita income and national income both are simultaneously start decreasing. So, population of the country is also responsible for the decrease in the per capita income and national income. Coming to the third feature of the Indian economy, that is lack of technology. India, as we know, is a labor-oriented country and it is not capital-rich country. In a labor-oriented country like India and other Asian continental countries, there is a lack of technology because technology requires huge amount of capital investment. But India is very poor country in case of capital investment. So because of that, India was not able to adopt modified technology in agriculture, industry and tertiary sector. Because of that, there was a lack of technology during colonial rule even after independence. Coming to the next feature, that is predominance of agriculture. Agri is the culture of India. More than 85% of India's farmers were depend on agriculture. Even today, more than 70% of India's population is depending upon agriculture. But its development is very poor. It is because of dependency. More number of farmers, members of the family, are depending on less amount of land. Because of that, agriculture is there in India. It is the culture of India, but its development, its contribution to the national contribution towards the national income is very less. Coming to the next feature of Indian economy, that is lack of capital. Basically, as I said, India is a labor-oriented country, and it faces lack of capital formation all the times, even before independence, after independence, even today, we are facing the problem of lack of capital. And whatever amount of capital is available, that is also deficient capital. But for the development of the country, we need to have efficient capital. This is all about lack of capital. Coming to the next feature of Indian economy, that is social beliefness and attitude towards male child. Especially Indians are social believers. They are believe in God. They never believe in the happenings. They always believe in the God, for example, and they always expect male child because India is a male dominant country, and they expect more number of male child, and they exploit, they neglect female child in the country. You know why they are expecting more number of male child? It is because they are adopting those male childs as their source of income. In most of the poor families, male children are asset. The male children are asset to the poor families because they are using those male child as a source of income. Because of that, they never expect female child in their family. It is also partially responsible for backwardness of the Indian economy, even during colonial rule and also after independence and even today. So this is all about the features of Indian economy. Now coming to the next part of the Indian economy on the eve of independence is especially the structure of India's present day economy is not just of current making. Today's India structure is not made by current making, it is the root of British India. Whatever we are here today, it is the root of British India. And coming to the next part of that particular topic is the purpose of British colonial rule. If we are having a focus on the purpose behind British colonial rule in India is to reduce the country, to bring a raw material country and making it as a raw material supplier country and consumer for British goods. India has become the trading center for British goods, and huge amount of raw material is drained from India to Britain, and the same raw materials were converted as ready-made goods, and the same goods were sold in Indian market. So we paid less for our raw materials and we paid more for their finished goods. Because of this, India has become the poor country in British colonial rule. Now, coming to the next aspect of the Indian economy on the eve of independence is low level economic development of India during colonial rule. Especially during British rule, agriculture was the main livelihood for most of the people in India, and more than 80%, 85% of Indian farmers were depending on agriculture in rural areas. And economy was characterized by various kinds like manufacturing activities. Particularly, India was well-known country in the production of cotton, silk, textiles, metal and precious stones, and handicrafts. So, agriculture was the main livelihood during British rule, and it was characterized by various kinds. Coming to the third aspect of low level economic development during colonial rule is the economic policies of British rule. The economic policies of British rules were pursued by only British people, and British government has the prominent places in Indian administration, and most of the policies were more concerned with British people, and they were not concerned with the protection and promotion of economic interest of India. They were more protected and promoted in the concern of economic interest of British men. Now, coming to the next aspect of the low level of economic development during British rule is estimation of per capita income and national income. During British rule, British government never made any sincere efforts to estimate per capita income and national income of the country. It was not properly calculated, not measured properly during colonial rule because they were not interested in the Indian economic activities. And some individual efforts were made by eminent experts like Dadabhai Naoroji, William Digboy, Findlay Siras, V.K. R.V. Rao, and R.C. Datta. In these experts, V.K. R.V. Rao's estimation of national income and per capita income was considered as very significant estimation. Now, coming to the next aspect of the low level economic development during British rule is drain of Indian wealth. India's wealth was drained. It means a huge amount of wealth was carried out from India to Britain because of these following reasons. India has become important trading center for British goods, and trade and tariffs adversely affected the structure of Indian economy. Here, British government has imposed huge amount of tariffs on India's exports, and it has imposed only less amount of tariffs on India's imports because more than 50% of India's international trade was restricted with Britain only. Because of that, British people imposed heavy tax on exported items and imposed less tariffs duties on importable items. The purpose behind this structure of tariff was to earn maximum income even from tariffs and quotas. Next one is export surplus and importing of invisible items. British government has made sincere effort to increase only India's exports in case of natural resources and importing only invisible items. and importing, in addition to that, importing the ready-made garments and selling the same product in Indian markets. This is all about the low-level economic development of the country during British rule. With this, we shall stop today's discussion. The remaining part of this same topic we'll discuss in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself and your family. Thank you very much.